back to the DoorDash National Youth Championships. We've got our first 18 boys game of the day. The Queensland representative school team taking on the North Queensland Cyclones. Scott McAllister and Tim Robinson with you for this one. They were pretty clinical yesterday, weren't they, Tim? 2 wins on the trot from the defending champions. NQ, 1 win, 1 loss, so they ticked both boxes yesterday. It's a big task here, first game of day 2.
Yeah, it certainly is up against this Queensland side. As you said yesterday, we're looking pretty red hot. They got straight into their task ahead, knowing they're trying to make it 3 wins in a row in the under-18s division. And this time, it's going to be a bit of a rivalry game, I dare say, against North Queensland. Yeah,
a lot of these Queensland regional teams, they love coming up against the Queensland schools teams. And these two teams played each other in the competition last year. It was a really good game. 15-7 was the end score. Queensland stretched away from them late, but probably for the better part of 30 minutes were really in the game. We'll see if they can match it again today as Queensland throw a big bomb out in the left corner. Big diving effort in the corner as well. So good defensive start from NQ. Let's see how they go with their first possession coming out of their end.
Nice pass early on there as well. Kalis Brownie was red hot yesterday, but here's some lightning speed from the North Queensland Cyclones to get the ball up the ground nice and easy as they get their fresh subs on. They've got a few touches to play with in their own half now.
Yeah, Elijah Burv picking up big meters there, and it's going to get them in a good position to have a crack coming into the last. They got all their numbers on the left-hand side. Queensland slide. They hold and come up with Brown to make the touch. Pretty good first set of 6 there for NQ. As Queensland go through the middle. Here's Matters putting it through the hands. Get some changes onto the park now. Queensland.
Lovely momentum as well. Keep it flowing off the back of this drive, and now you can see the release, the room that they've created from that drive over to their box. And finishing off in the corner, a lovely try is Zach Griggs. He was red hot yesterday, and he started in the same way here for Queensland. That play just all came off momentum, Scotty, driving nice and hard. The flow didn't stop, and they created so much room there on the open side to then shift the ball through the hands to find Griggs in the corner. Yeah,
he made the highlight reels yesterday, did young Zach Griggs, and had some work to do here as well. Big chase in the corner from Keelan Cutts as NQ turned the footy back over. And Queensland just relentless as they get back underway and march their way towards the halfway line. Andrews plays it. They come back infield with Bales. Now just holding things up coming into the last touch. Brown comes off that left foot, gets into the in-goal area. There's players down on the deck for NQ. And they link up nicely. And Queensland have gone back-to-back tries in early succession here to go up by 2.
Yeah, Chase Bales in the end scoring the try. It was a nice set of wheels to find the in-goal as well and create lots of room. There's that left foot step. Perfectly done, and Bales does well to get free from his player. Nice little cut out the back as well from Queensland to put the defence in 2 minds. Some nice wheels there though by Jonte Brown.
NQ looking for a strike back here. And there is Jonte backing up in defence and making the touch.
The game we called yesterday, Scott didn't have Jonte playing the earlier game, so been told by coach Nick Pecchia that Jonte playing with his brother Kalis is playing a bit of backyard footy. They just know each other's game that well. They just do some ridiculous stuff, so could be really impressive in this game.
NQ are going to get a repeat set. So 6 touches to work with. They play in the middle as Queensland plays down at the moment. They went the early release and probably just a step or 2 behind down there on the left-hand side of the field. You could understand why they wanted to chase their hand when they saw that Queensland player down on the deck, but not everyone really across the plan there as Queensland turn it over.
Yeah. Probably suck it into that pass a little bit, North Queensland. Probably want to get a little bit more direct at the line, make this Queensland defence start working instead of trying to play that early ball and risking mistakes. So let's see how they set this one up. Here comes a sweeper around looking to play back. Dummies that time, and you see that time he creates the shutdown. So next time they can run that play, they can have a look. They've got the winger involved.
Ziegler plays it. And hold things up again. Ziegler from half. They've got numbers on the left. And the pass again just behind the shoulders. They just haven't been too clean down this end of the field. The footy in hand at the moment. As Jonte plays it. Clarkin will take a breather as well as Watts makes his way onto the field. Matters, nice little pop-out play. They're rolling into the line nicely again. Kalis picks up, gives an early release. They get hands on the footy. Connolly touching the ball. Another set of 6.
Starting to use that ball off the back of their drive nicely as well. That time you saw the little pop-out fly play as well. Nice recovery from the middle, but they had the smarts to get the ball down in the deck. Here goes Kalis Brown diving at the line. He's testing the defence, making them shut in. Cyclones hold him out this time.
Brown again, early ball. Matters comes off that right foot and gets in underneath. He's dangerous in that position. Plays in motion and great footwork again. Matters chalks up another try.
He's a sensational defender, Matters, but geez, he's quick on his feet and can do some damage in attack as well. Watch how quick he can use that right foot step and then get low to the ground to get that ball over the line. Just catches the Cyclones middle a little bit loose there on the step back. It's enough to pick up the try, and it's the second one for the Queensland team on the Athlete scoreboard. 2-0 over the Cyclones.
Now the Cyclones, good hands there. Hold on to the footy. Oh, they had numbers out here. And repeat set. Almost looked like he lost the ball.
I thought it was nearly like I want to pass it. Oh, no, I don't want to pass it, but it was a bit too late. But got away with it. Here we go. Nice little trick play by the Cyclones, looking to push out into the corners. The Queensland side all over it defensively at the moment. Let's see if they can spread them back over to the further side. We've got a Rooster play here. Jinking off his feet and looking to dive low at the line is Prince. He just pulls up short of the line.
Yeah, and it matters in defence, like you mentioned.
Look how strong he is getting out there as well defensively. Flynn Matters putting a lot of pressure on. There's that out ball. They worked towards that their last couple of plays as well. They had the winger crashing in and keeping nice and tight. That's a great recovery there, though, by Dylan May, the winger, to read that and just make the touch on a diving Anakin Fell.
Last touch here for the Cyclones. They come across the grain. Yeah, just didn't quite have enough on it, that pass. He actually had to come in towards the Queensland defender. And look at this first touch here for Queensland. It's a real big difference between both of these two teams. Now, second touch, and Andrews kicks away from all the NQ defenders. Goes right across the park.
I think he forgot that he didn't have a winger out there. The winger subbed then.
He was the winger in the end. They're all back into position now. Richter scoops it with the left hand. Sends a looping ball out to the corner to May, who comes back in field. Still the last touch here for Queensland. They're flicking it around. NQ pretty calm in defence, though. Took some metres off Queensland with the ball in the last play.
Yeah, nice scramble by CQ there. And they've got on the ball quick, trying to give Queensland a taste of their own medicine and driving the ball up and bringing some subs on. Looking for the latch play here, and let's see if they can get a nice strike down for the middle. See who they can get involved. They're going out to the middle link this time. And picking up the ball is a little dummy to the short play, and then throws the ball away, does Connolly. But a better set there as well by the Cyclones, getting the ball down the end, putting some pressure on Queensland.
Now they need to respond in defence, and Rolfe having to take an extra couple of steps to get into half. They're all over the shop here, Queensland. Not a great set from them.
Well, you can probably mark that one down because you won't see it too often.
Yep, you'd think the coaching staff might just pull them in and clean that up, because they've been, they have been perfect in that area so far in the early stages of this game.
Nick Peckier stroking his mustache after seeing that. Thinking about it, the Cyclones ready to test Queensland defence once again. They're looking to get on the board. They've earned themselves a penalty. A fresh set. Let's see if they can move them around. Up nice and strong in defence is Clark, and trying to put some early pressure on, diving at the line, but short again.
Yeah, referee just having a chat here. So another penalty. They have to be on their toes. They don't want to give too many penalties away in the 7-metre zone. Hit Queensland. As NQ come back to the short side, back into the middle. Happy to throw the footy around at the moment.
On goal.
Nice early release. They pop back on the inside. Good slide defence. Jonte Brown comes across. Pretty comfortable on their line at the moment. This is Queensland Schools team. Just shy of the 7-metre line. Now, bomb left to right. Falls into the hands of May. Nice recovery there from Fell. They come across and make the touch. They'll be looking to be cleaner in this set of 6 here, Queensland. Replacement players do come on deep around, but they got away from the first defender in Connolly. They're rolling into the line nicely again.
Here he goes, Matters, hand through the line. Nice read by the winger, but it gives Queensland another set of 6. Nice fast ball movement.
Here's Flynn Matters, plays it. Comes off that right foot again. This time links up. They go phase, far too close to the line. Nice defence, just got back on the line, pushed straight forward, made the touch. Just flirting a little bit too close there, Queensland.
Yeah, you can see what Matters and Skinner were trying to do there and try and get the phase, which they did end up getting, but they just way too close to the line on that one. Still have to reset for next time.
Now the Cyclones down the sideline as they get players out onto the park. Looking for some offside players in. They get the penalty as well. Smart football. Must have heard the call. Just held it down that channel where the players were offside. Threw the ball, speculated ball, but knew the penalty was coming.
I was just about to say it, and I didn't want to jinx it, but I was going to say there haven't been too many midfield penalties. It's been rather flowy throughout the middle. Right on cue. We get one. The Cyclones get a chance. Here comes the sweeper now. We're playing back to the short side, and Queensland reading that one nicely, sliding across. Matters strong defensively. He's got Watts on his outside in the link. And again, Matters trying to press him out. He wants to try and make those touches outside the 7, which puts more pressure on the attack of the Cyclones. But what pressure? Says Burv. He picks the ball up, looks long, plays short, Stemmers crosses over for their first.
What a great try there from the Cyclones. Good hit back for them as well. Just too loose in the middle there, Queensland, weren't they?
Yep. The middle you can see there, we've made the touch there and Matters, but there it is there, the link nice and loose. And unfortunately for Queensland, they've let one in, but that was a beautiful setup.
Now this is a dangerous set here for the Cyclones. How did he get that away? Javen Andrews, and they will award this the referees. Well, it looked like it was falling apart for them, and all of a sudden Andrews just slapped it across out into the corner.
You got a feel for the Cyclones on this play because it was a nice position there that the link held. He was in a great spot there, Kylan Cutts, but unfortunately for him, Javen Andrews just got a freakish little tap on away, and it found the hands of Zach Griggs, who falls over in the corner for his second try. Queensland 3-1 on the athlete scoreboard.
And we just made mention they scored their first try, and it was an important defensive set, but I don't know if there's too much you can really do about that. That was just a bit of freakish skill from Andrews. Just got to continue to stay in the contest here, the Cyclones. Diving in nice and early. Nice touch, though, from Rolf.
That was a nice little set play for the Cyclones. I'd like to see just a little bit of a heads up there for Rolf because he committed the defensive winger in a little bit tight. If he can let that rip, he had Fell there calling. Anakin Fell was calling there on the wing. He could have been on.
They got the footy back here. NQ from the stake, and that hurts. That hurts. So just little half opportunities you get where you get gifted that repeat set. Have another crack. You need to at least finish that set of 6 yourself. And they turn the footy away over. And now Queensland, I think that's a good call as well. Andrews just getting called out upright. The rain's starting to fall again now, so making the conditions a little bit slippery, a little bit tricky for both these teams. Holding on to the footy and possession is going to be really important.
Well, you can see that both teams really like to play that expansive style of footy, and you have to try and rein it back in a little bit when you're playing in some slippery conditions. As you said, a little bit of rain falling, a bit of grease on the ball now. So it could change the style of this game. They look to try and run the Cindy play, but play back on the open side. Diving at the line there is Toby Falconer. Referee says touch number 5. So one more for the Cyclones, looking to try and end this set on a high and bury it over in the corner as they do. And they'll get time to set their defensive line and try and put a bit of pressure again on the Queensland side, who haven't been too fluent with their drive so far, Scott.
Yeah, let's see if they can be cleaner this time around. NQ will look to try and get some players across the flood as Queensland make those changes.
This is a nice drive. Nice and direct there. Carter Skinner gets the ball rolling. He gets the ball back and drives it in once again as well for Matters, who steps up, takes him one way, steps back on the short side. He's looking for someone on the in goal. He links up with Jonte Brown, and they're having a discussion now, the referees. What are they going to come up with?
Penalty Queensland. Looked like a bit of a hooking penalty as well. Someone taking off the ball from one of the NQ defenders. Jonte now, footwork. Touch is made.
Matters really looking threatening so far for the Queensland attack early on in this game. You can see him here now working with Jonte Brown, who rips it through, and that's another unfortunate one for the North Queensland Cyclones because they've got a hand to it. It's popped up beautifully for the Queensland winger, and they've got another one through Daniel Taylor.
Yeah, coming up out of the line. Good piece of it, didn't he? Looked like Anakin fell out here on this left-hand side. It's a bit of risk and reward. Those ones you've really got to take. And they got the rub of the green, fell straight into the hands there of Taylor. Another try here for Queensland. As NQ come back from the restart. Nice ball out. Good work from Griggs coming in from his wing.
Nice defence. Cyclones now stepping back on the open side. Quickie, strong defence though by Queensland, not giving them the roll balls that they want. They're trying to shift it out now. Engage the link. Nice play on the fifth to try and move it around, but Queensland up to the challenge.
Now they get back onto attack. Nice work here from North Queensland. I was just saying, just a step too short though. Showed good intent though, and try and put some pressure on this Queensland team. Here they are, popping up again with Fell. Queensland still not quite in position with their replacement players. They get their full complement of 6 on now.
And Clarkin and Bales here, spreading the ball into Jonte Brown, who's been dangerous so far. And here goes his brother, Kalis Brown. Can't convert on that one. The referee's called time off here. The touch judge has seen something. It could come back to a Queensland penalty. Not too sure what the... there's a 6 to go, so he's called a touch, has he?
Yeah, it must have been a little deflection from one of the NQ hands. So full set of 6 to work with here for Queensland.
This is where we could see the brothers in action.
Yeah,
they are right now.
Haven't been onto the park too many times, have they? Whoops, it's a bit slippery out there.
That's Jonte Brown and Kalis Brown, the 6 and the 15, looking to try and get the link involved. Here's a little trick play now, playing on the inside. Referee's looking at the touch judge, but he says nope. He's got the play. Wouldn't be surprised if they do run that play again. You'll see a little bounce out. But now they've gone the sweeper. They've gone back the other way into the hole. Beautiful read again by the winger in the 15 on that far side. And Kylan Cuts in a nice position. Unfortunately gives 6 away. 6 more touches away.
Got plenty of pressure here at the moment. NQ, back-to-back defensive efforts on their line. Can they hold out any longer? They can't. And it is Jonte. He's having quite the game, isn't he? He's involved in everything. Gets a try as well.
Little fist pump as well. He's got his head on camera after scoring that great try. He's quick feet, but really quick to get to the ground, isn't he? If you have a look here on the DoorDash replay. Fed back there by his brother. Eyeballs the middle and really takes him back to the line, and then it's just that little jink to get it down. Nice movement there by Jonte Brown.
Queensland in control. NQ desperate for points before the break.
Yeah, that was a full pass. It was called, I think, from someone in the stands. You might have picked it up through the mic, but definitely a full pass off the ruck, and the on-field referee was onto it as Queensland now look to spread the ball. They get it out nice and wide. Going forward, Daniel Taylor, but he's lost control of it. Yeah,
a little bit sloppy in the play. The ball, there, good contact from the NQ team to force the error. They get some changes out there at the moment as well. So they'll look to set up now. So they come back in field. Edwards plays it. Swain in from half, goes to short ball. They take him on, nice early ball. It's just a little bit above the arms and the shoulders there. Had to reach that in. There was a bit of space on the left. Now last touch, didn't hear the count.
Yeah, the little splitter play there again by the Cyclones. We've seen it several times already throughout this week at NYC. Many teams running it. Love to just see him get at the line first, though. Really try and get the defence to start closing. At the moment, they just want to just try and throw that long pass. It's not always on.
Another mistake here from Queensland. And they give the penalty away. You think it might be pretty clear what some of the messages might be from Nick Peck here and the coaching staff for Queensland. Just those errors coming out of their end. It's probably been about 4 or 5 of them now that have cost them possession.
Yeah, and it does come down with a little bit of a greasy pill, but it also means you've got to be smarter with that ball as well. And no excuse to be making those mistakes.
Hooter sounds in the background, and then Q are happy to throw the footy away. That'll bring the halftime to a close, and Queensland looking pretty comfortable at the moment in this one. The one try to NQ, they've seen some signs of, they have an option to try and create some opportunities down there. They've had a lot of footy down the attacking end of the field in this Pool A clash. Queensland representative schools, they're looking the goods at the moment. 5-1 in front of NQ. They've got the opening tap-off here. A quick try early, and just that 3-try margin just keeps it interesting.
Yeah, it does. They've got lots to keep their heads held high for Cyclones and come out here nice and aggressive as they have. Here's a quick release, looking to try and get out inside the link. Here's Luke Swain, but he can't. Still got another chance. Touch up their sleeve. Oh, puts it into a beautiful link hole. What a pass that was, and a lovely hole by the Cyclones. And that early try, Scott, is exactly what they needed. Punching through the hole was Toby Falconer. Yeah,
perfect start here. That's a great ball as well. Riding into space, and exactly what they would have spoken about at the halftime break, they've come out and done. On the flip side, though, this is a big defensive set for them. Even though it's, early here in the second half, they can't go punch for punch with Queensland. They need some big defensive stops. Brown has a look back on the inside, probably threw a ball that didn't need to be thrown. Still early in the touch count there. And it looked like they had some numbers defensively there, NQ, so they do hold out. Another big set for them as they try to get themselves downfield.
So they got the stop they want here, the Cyclones. They've just got to make sure they can complete this set, bury it down in enemy territory as the players sweep on. Let's see if they can link up nicely for a strike dump. They've still got one touch here, picking the ball up and trying to gas it through, but you're not going to get past Clark, and he's got some wheels himself. And straight away, Queensland on the ball with a matter of urgency.
Here is Clarkin who plays it. Heads over to the interchange area. Skinner gets away from the first. Plays smart football, though, takes the touch. Probably just caught in that 2 mines, probably only 2 or 3 metres out from the line. Coming into the last now, Matters, greasy ball off the fingertips.
He felt sorry for Carter Skinner then. The line really crept up on him because he made too many good yards. Doesn't happen too often, but lovely run. Just had to pull it up a little bit short. Cyclones looked like they lost the ball there, and they did, but it was because of a little bit of a nudge and a little bit of a help for Queensland. So the Cyclones get a much-needed penalty on halfway. This will give them a chance to get into some attacking territory.
They'll need to roll themselves downfield. Swain skips away from one. As Burv puts the footwork on. Can't get away from Andrews.
There's a sweeper play looking out the back here. They've decided to pass it off. Burv diving at the line. He gets the all clear as well. Nice feet. And North Queensland back in this one, much to the delight of Coach Reece Bevan. Over there, he's checking his notes and things are starting to go his way.
Yeah, we have a look here, Matters. Yeah, I think it's a good call. Just 1 foot behind the line in the end. Here he is. He comes up and makes the touch. So he's short at the moment. Short. Probably knows. Gets 1 foot behind. Good call from the referee.
They do make it clear. We don't like hearing it as a player that 2 feet have to be behind the line.
And when you try and you're like, I'm trying to get them back there. I'm trying, but hitting both. And it's hard, particularly in that position that Flynn was in, when you come up and make that touch, and then you got to get back, cover your short side, and pop back forward and make that touch. And Burv's been good. Here he is again from half. This time comes off the left foot. They've got him covered pretty well. What about the start here from NQ? 2 tries to start the second half. Well and truly into this game. Down by 2 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the intensity's been much better by NQ to start this half, and they're going to have to try and keep it up because Queensland no doubt won't go away. They'll be looking to add to the scoreboard here. But NQ again up to it. Another great defensive display.
Now they played on the 10. The changes come on here for the Cyclones. Nice little ball down the right-hand side. Just a different option to pick up some extra metres.
There we go. There's the strike dump. Connolly looking to scoop. Not clean enough.
They just look like a different team at the moment, don't they? And you get that momentum in Queensland on the other hand with Dylan May. Turn the footy over. It's going to be a penalty as well.
No doubt a little bit of talk coming in this Queensland box. They've got to settle things down. They've been met by the more intense NQ side to start this half. A couple of deep breaths, get back to what they're playing good at. At the moment, though, they're under a lot of pressure as the ball shifts through. Connolly rips it out to Falconer. He just can't sneak through that little gap, but they do earn a penalty.
Yeah, get that ball away there. They might have been across the stripe again. Good result for them, though, to get the full set of 6. So they look to sweep, come back against the grain. Good defence. They caught out of position, though, with Watts. Now off the right foot and slicing in underneath. This is close. They come back out. Touch has been made. Swain plays it again, coming into the last. Oh, it's been picked off on the fingertips. Big chase needed, and coming across as well from all angles. NQ, great chase. And they probably had 2 players in the end to make the touch. Ashton Wone was there. Anakin Fell coming across from the far wing as well. Geez, they've got some speed on the flanks there, NQ.
We haven't seen too many foot races so far in this National Youth Championships as well, so good to see one here. Here's Queensland, though. Matters making it look nice and easy, drifting back. The defence got a little bit lazy, probably off the back of that chase as well. And it's an easy try in the end as Jonte Brown. We're giving the camera a wave. Well done, son.
I think it might have been Jonte that took the intercept as well. So
that's why the hands are on the hip, I think, while he's waving.
Yeah. He didn't have to do too much in the end to get it over, but he was a reason why they got down that end of the field to start with. Picking off that intercept, and now NQ turn the footy over. And this is it's a tough period, like for a team where you've scored 2 tries. All of a sudden, Queensland get one back out. They can't get out of their shell here, NQ. They've got to continue to play this positive footy that we've seen. When we see it so often, we're a juggernaut team like Queensland. They just start to get their groove again. Just put that pressure back on. It separates the teams. That ball.
Long ball. Kalis Brown lets it fly, and it's all clear from the sideline. On the far side, near side sideline is called forward. So an interesting one there from the referees. And they do go with that one. It's always interesting with referees' decision there on the forward passes when a referee calls that forward pass from behind, because you can't actually see the hand. So having a look at the replay, look quite clean to come out of the hand. So always a tough one, especially when the open side referee that can actually see those hands calls it all clear. But that's the decision that was made.
Now the Cyclones look to set up. Coming into the back end of the set now. Berv feeds it off. Stammers plays it. Berv comes off the left foot. Sends it out the back. They got the numbers. Lovely little flick ball out the back. No, referees say no. Oh, it's disappointing. That was a highlight reel.
It was a highlight reel, but great positioning in the end by the Queensland winger to knock it off and get the touch before that flick on for the Cyclones. But they're playing a little bit more entertaining in this second half. Queensland now motoring forward, looking to strike. Once again, Clarkin returns the ball. They're trying to work over the middles. It's Bales down for Clarkin. This is touch 5. And good defence by the Cyclones holds them up.
Yeah, comfortable touch in the end. Jesse Ziegler. Good defensive read in the middle. Just struggling a little bit to get forward in this set. NQ. Queensland up nice and early. They keep them flat-footed for the time being. Now trying to get away from this defence. They can't get on the outside of Andrews, who comes up and makes another touch there. And they regain possession. First touch here, they're going to roll over the halfway line. It's a pretty good place to start your set of 6.
It is, and they're building some momentum here now. They're starting to look dangerous. You can see Matters come back on. Here's a beautiful strike up. The referee goes down in the middle. I think they've called 7 on, is it? Have they? No, full pass.
Poor old ref. You can see the 40 is trying to get out of the way. The boys are running towards him. He's doing the splits. He's done the dipsy doodle.
Unfortunately, we don't get a DoorDash replay of that. He's done well. He's recovered the referee. He's out there now on the touchline, and the Cyclones making an impact. And just as I say that, they've put the ball down in the ruck.
Yeah, rain starting to fall. Again, it's been on and off this morning. Just enough to be annoying for the players. We'll definitely take these light showers, though, over some of the rain that we've had here in previous years. Now, I reckon that's a ball down as well. And a little hand involved from NQ. Big defensive set here for the Cyclones. Slicing through. Carter sends a lovely ball out to the corner. And links up with Zach Griggs, who scores his 3rd try of the game. He might be thereabouts for being the leading point scorer on the Bristol Paints ladder come today.
Look at here, dummy to the sweeper, picks up, and there's a nice play. They've got the defence sliding right over. Carter Skinner links up with Griggs nicely. You can see that middle there, just overread the sweeper, trying to do his best to back his fellow middle, and just gets found out on the short side.
Huge match coming up next. New South Wales Combined Catholic Colleges taking on New South Wales CHS. Both teams coming into this match undefeated, 3-0 after the first day of play. So we see the Cyclones have another attacking raid. Probably the game of the match of the day, you would have to say. 2 top teams coming in up against each other. Semi-finalists as well from last year's competition. It's going to be a great game coming up next.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. It's going to be a huge game. Plenty of mates playing against each other as well. I'm sure no love is going to be lost as Queensland go on the attack. Clarkin finds the in goal. Looks to pick up. Watson just can't get the connection. But Queensland with another completion. I'm sure their coach will be happy that they're leaving the ball down deep in the Cyclones' end, and then their pressure gets the turnover.
Yeah, just a couple of mistakes starting to creep into their game. Now NQ chasing that scoreboard. Queensland just relentless. Ooh. That's a good old-fashioned double movement in a different sport. You'd think he just kind of slipped there, Chase Bales, got short of the line and went, there's no one around me, I'll have another go. Doesn't matter how you get there.
In Bales' defence, no one had a hand on him, so it's play on. So well done. Smart movement. You can see him here just pull his middle across and then take him back wide and step through. That creates the gap between the 2 middles. Didn't get the ball down cleanly on the first one, but is allowed to propel that momentum forward once again. Taking his middle wide on the DoorDash replay and sliding with a bounce in between them.
Up by 8 now, 8 tries to 3.
Nice out ball. Can't stick.
Yeah, just a bit loose out of the hands. Queensland just starting to find their groove here in the second half. Andrews, nice ball on the outside.
This is the first time we've seen a stay set here too, Scotty, from Queensland. We haven't seen that so far this game. There's always been to the box. So they've all stayed, this group of players. Trying to really put the foot on the throat. And that's a beautiful pill. Nice read as well. Jumping over the red rooster boundary.
Oh, here he comes back again.
Kylan Cutts just disappeared for a second there. That shows some athleticism to jump over the signage there on the sideline. Unfortunately, his efforts weren't enough, and Queensland will pick up the try. Have a look on this. This is going to be a fantastic replay. Have a look at the chasing winger, 15. Kylan Cutts over the red rooster boundary. There he goes. You'll have a rest behind there for a little bit. You may as well lay down for a while. That was a great effort defensively. Unfortunately, didn't come up trumps.
It's in Brisbane 2032, the pole vault. He leapt over that with ease. Quite spectacular. Good try, though, from Queensland. Flexing their muscles now. Nice late ball at the line. Oh, and they'll come back for the forward pass, or a touch and pass is the call from our on-field.
I think they'll be relieved as well then, because I think Falconer probably could have just thrown the dummy and walked over for a try instead of releasing to the winger, but didn't matter. Forward pass before that. Queensland showing some momentum to try and get out of their half, but another little error off the mark.
And so they have had a couple of little errors in their game today. Tricky conditions, though. They are tough conditions to play at, just this greasy, showery conditions. Still quite warm out there as well, so they've got to deal with the sweat, the rain.
Fortunately, looking at the forecast, though, Scott, they're going to have to get used to it. I think the next couple of days is probably going to be wet weather footy as well. Here's a pick-up. They've got the slip. Unfortunately for Braden Scott, he slipped over, and the Cyclones have taken advantage of that. It's Cameron Kolb who gets on the outside, gets another touchdown, or try, I should say, for the North Queensland Cyclones.
Yeah, just caught on ice there. Unfortunately, again, these slippery conditions.
Nice feet, though. Nice little show there by Prince. He's picked up, just showed the ball enough to use some wheels to get on the outside of his middle.
Oh, all the boys are doing it tough at the moment. Losing their footing. As Clarkin plays it. And an incorrect play the ball, just not getting the body over the footy.
There's definitely some fixes here. Despite the scoreboard for Queensland, there's going to be things they need to look at. Just about their own game and getting some things right. Here's an away set for the Cyclones. Look to fly down the sideline through. Anakin Fell just can't get away.
Geez, I'd like to see him in clear air. Anakin Fell, when we saw him chase that intercept down, he was absolutely flying. Did it with ease. If they can get him into space, he will be gone.
There we go, strike dump, picked up nicely. These some good set of wheels to try and get back on the short side. It was Connolly, but the pass wasn't on. Queensland manned up nice and easy to defuse the situation.
Nice pick up from half. As Queensland get the changes on again. Here's Andrews. Skinner looks to go to Matters. Good hands for Matters to be able to hold on to that now as Andrews picks it up. Nice little short ball. Skinner is about to roll over, but the penalty is being given. So no advantage played there. Might have actually been a touch and pass penalty, possibly from Queensland, but offside players first from NQ.
As Matters looking to work over the middles. He's worked very nicely here today, Matters. And Nelly gets it again. Working with Carter Skinner in the middle. Javon Andrews will go in at dummy half. They'll reset again. Matters steps in. Looking to try and drag that middle really far across. We can see an outball here now. Just not enough to get outside the middle. That's an aggressive touch. It's play on though by the referees. Let the advantage play, I reckon. They can't convert Queensland.
Thank you. Yeah, looking to go the quick tap. I like the play on call there. We could see the heavy contact. If Queensland choose to take that advantage and go into the in-goal area, and then they don't come up with the crumbs, or the cookies, I should say, then, you know, that they took that opportunity to score the points. So referees letting the game flow on there.
Goes the Cyclones, touch 5 now. They're only just over their side of halfway, and Queensland contain them quite easily. Spreading the ball, playing direct, always important off the first one. Now they shifted out to their box, try and get some fresh legs on. A nice hard drive here. That's great meters there by Braden Scott. Gets that momentum flying forward. That brings into touch 5. We're looking long, play short. There's Kalis Brown.
A little forward pass picked up. It's been a decent performance from NQ, hasn't it? They definitely had their chances. They're a little isolated here now, but hold on to the footy. Still only really got 2 players in position at the moment. They're in all sorts of trouble. Still managed to get the ball in over the top. They need to reset, someone go forward. Cole does that now. Nice pick up from the halfway line. They throw the footy away. Oh.
They get a penalty though. They'll earn a penalty here. They called him out of play. I think it was Richter that was out of play. Didn't hear the referee's call, so NQ will get a chance here. They've done really well, I think, Scott. I mean, considering the first half, they probably killed themselves a little bit with a fair bit of drop ball. Queensland got lucky with a couple of tries, just some late bat-ons that got away from the Cyclones, even though they were in good position and looking to play the splitter play again here, trying to find the link hole. Nice defence again. But Braden Scott, who was up in the line, but there's 6 more touches.
Yeah, they had a good win over Brisbane in round 2, 13-5. And Brisbane have been pretty strong in the 18s over the last couple of years. They made a semi-final last year. They made the grand final the year before. So that's a really strong performance for them. They'll have to regather. They'll go 1-2 coming into round 4. Well, they played a couple of heavyweights. Their last loss, or their other loss, I should say, was against New South Wales CIS. So they've drawn a couple of the heavyweights early on in the comp. They'll be looking to focus on getting some more wins and hopefully secure a quarterfinal spot in the back end of the competition.
Clark and Nelly, a stroke of brilliance to get that pass underneath to Javon Andrews. Couldn't land it.
And they're up against it at the moment. There's heavy contact. And the penalty is given.
Always talk about good teams and being able to go up gears. I think Nick Pecky has spoken to his team. He said we need to lift that extra gear, and they have at the back end of that game. You see them go to another level, Queensland, and it's enough to really put this game to bed. As we hear the full-time siren in the background, and the referee now blows his whistle. As a great result there for the Queensland representative side in a tough battle as well against their rivals up at North Queensland, the Cyclones. 9-4. I think it was a pretty fitting result in the end.
Yeah, quality contest, and they can definitely take a lot of things out of that performance there. NQ and Queensland, they just continue to roll on. They go 3-0 coming into round 4 now. And like we said, we've got a big match coming up next. New South Wales Triple C against New South Wales CHS. Both teams undefeated coming into this one.